Unveiling free trade zones, understanding their role in customs clearance. Introduction to free trade zones, FTZs. Free trade zones, FTZs, are designated areas within a country where goods can be imported, stored, processed, or re-exported with certain benefits and exemptions from customs duties and taxes, facilitating international trade and investment. Definition of FTZs. Free trade zones, FTZs, are geographical areas within a country's borders that are considered outside the customs territory for customs purposes, allowing for the importation, storage, handling, and processing of goods with reduced or deferred customs duties and taxes. Key features of FTZs. Free trade zones, FTZs, offer various benefits for customs clearance, including duty deferral, inverted tariff relief, streamlined customs procedures, simplified documentation requirements, and access to logistical infrastructure and support services. Duty deferral. Importers can defer payment of customs duties and taxes on goods imported into free trade zones, FTZs, until the goods are removed from the zone for domestic consumption, providing cash flow advantages and cost savings for businesses. Inverted tariff relief. Free trade zones, FTZs, may offer inverted tariff relief, allowing manufacturers to import components or raw materials duty-free or at reduced rates for assembly, processing, or manufacturing activities within the zone, enhancing competitiveness and value-added production. Streamlined customs procedures. Free trade zones, FTZs, often have streamlined customs procedures and expedited clearance processes, enabling faster movement of goods in and out of the zone, reducing administrative burdens, and enhancing trade efficiency. Simplified documentation requirements. Importers and exporters operating within free trade zones, FTZs, benefit from simplified documentation requirements, such as reduced customs declarations or simplified export procedures, reducing paperwork and compliance costs. Access to logistical infrastructure. Free trade zones, FTZs, provide access to advanced logistical infrastructure, such as ports, airports, warehouses, distribution centers, and transportation networks, facilitating efficient movement and distribution of goods in global supply chains. Support services. Free trade zones, FTZs, offer a range of support services for businesses, including customs brokerage, freight forwarding, warehousing, packaging, labeling, quality control, and value-added services, enhancing the competitiveness and attractiveness of the zone for trade and investment. Economic development benefits. Free trade zones, FTZs, contribute to economic development by attracting foreign direct investment, FDI, promoting export-oriented industries, generating employment opportunities, fostering technology transfer, and stimulating innovation and entrepreneurship. Trade promotion. Free trade zones, FTZs, play a strategic role in promoting international trade by facilitating cross-border commerce, reducing trade barriers, promoting trade liberalization, and enhancing market access for businesses. Investment incentives. Free trade zones, FTZs, often offer investment incentives, such as tax breaks, customs duty exemptions, subsidized utilities, and land leases, to attract domestic and foreign investors and stimulate industrial development and diversification. Regulatory framework. Free trade zones, FTZs, operate within a specific regulatory framework established by the host country, including customs regulations, trade laws, labor standards, environmental regulations, and intellectual property rights protection, to ensure compliance and safeguard public interests. Security measures. Free trade zones, FTZs, implement security measures and controls to prevent smuggling, illicit trade, and other criminal activities, including customs inspections, surveillance systems, access controls, and collaboration with law enforcement agencies. Compliance requirements. Businesses operating within free trade zones, FTZs, must comply with customs regulations, import-export laws, and trade policies, including record-keeping, reporting, and compliance audits, to maintain eligibility for FTZ benefits and avoid penalties or sanctions. Risk management. Customs authorities implement risk management strategies and controls to mitigate the potential risks associated with free trade zones, FTZs, including monitoring, surveillance, and enforcement measures to ensure security and regulatory compliance. International cooperation. Free trade zones, FTZs, promote international cooperation and collaboration among customs administrations, trade associations, and other stakeholders to share best practices, exchange information, and address common challenges in managing and regulating FTZs. Continuous improvement. Free trade zones, FTZs, should continuously monitor and evaluate their operations, performance, and regulatory frameworks to identify opportunities for improvement, innovation, and adaptation to changing trade dynamics and market conditions. Stakeholder engagement. Free trade zones, FTZs, should engage with stakeholders, including businesses, government agencies, trade associations, academic institutions, and civil society organizations, to solicit feedback, address concerns, and foster collaboration in achieving the goals of the zone. Free trade zones, FTZs, offer significant benefits for customs clearance, international trade, and economic development by providing duty deferral, inverted tariff relief, streamlined customs procedures, logistical infrastructure, and support services to businesses. By understanding the advantages of FTZs and complying with regulatory requirements, importers and exporters can leverage FTZs to enhance their competitiveness, expand their market reach, and contribute to global trade growth. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more informative videos on customs clearance and international trade practices.